Okay, this is a personal for jEreMY. Um, okay, so we're doing your question was, what do you think of me? And when I looked at the way that you write, sort of with lowercase letters to start with and then an uppercase letter in the middle, you remind me of a certain time period in my life when I was doing those kinds of things. At the time, I was living at the end of Falls Creek in those large towers. Um, I don't know what else to tell you. You look very Tigger-like. Remember Tigger from the Winnie the Pooh characters? You seem to have quite a Tigger energy. And what else do we get from you? Uh, okay. Hmm. This hat doesn't want to talk, it only wants to meditate. Okay. This hat. If I wear these hats too long, I'm just going to go into like deep meditation. These hats are in a meditation mood. Okay, King Clancy is one of my personalities, and he wants to remind me that we're doing a video and not to go too deep into meditation. So, and he also wants to remind me to watch the time. So, I have quite a few personalities that don't come on camera, and they used to live on board a space station, and then they decided they were tired of the space station, so they reappeared on a large old bus, reminiscent of the bus Further, which carried the merry pranksters around the USA. Oh, I don't know, around the late 1960s perhaps. And they don't want to talk too much about themselves right now. They want me to try another hat. Um, they're feeling kind of ashamed, actually. Because for a long time, I don't have the hat, but a long time, the boss, known as Rumpelstiltskin, a fifth dimensional dark elf, had a lot of issues with human beings. And he used to take it out on me because I was a human. But one of the things, many of the things that he was upset about with humans, but one of the things that he doesn't like about humans is definitely our capitalism. He finds it disgusting, and he really can't stand humans killing animals for food. He just usually he gets into a towering rage, and God knows you don't want Rumpelstiltskin in a towering rage. Um, it's a major. So what else does he want to talk? He's not talking. It's sort of like they're passing the word down the line. He doesn't like to come to the front, close to me anymore, because he finally discovered that his raging temper was very hurtful to me. He opened a tailory on board the old Starship, and he came around for a walk the other day, but he's rarely around, in my presence. He's usually busy doing other things. His best friend is a shape-shifting dog called Sippy Cup, and Sippy Cup is named after sippy cups. They really are ashamed to say that they don't like capitalists at all, and they don't like business people at all, who, my characters, they don't. So they're kind of embarrassed because they know that, long before they came to me, that I was working very hard at getting the word should out of my vocabulary, because in a Wayne Dyer book he said basically you should never tell people anything about what they should do and shouldn't do. So they're very hesitant to talk to you because you're an entrepreneurial kind of person, business kind of person, and they don't want to use the word should, which means I can't really tell you exactly what they feel, but the feeling in general is they wish all humans would stop doing businesses, would stop doing profiteering, would stop doing capitalism, banking, loan sharking, and then they said they could keep going on. The next item is they can't stand the arms trade business, military affairs. In the last video I did about a bunch of books that I just bought, this is one of the books that I talked about, Sacred Economics. If the characters, they're called the cosmic characters, if the cosmic characters could give you a message, it's please read this book and see if it resonates with you. The roadmap off of late-stage capitalism into the gift economy. If you go to Charles Eisenstein's website, he has a video there, and I think you can get a PDF of the book. Otherwise, if you go to Amazon and you select the Kindle version of Sacred Economics, you can get a pretty good sized chunk of the book for free as the sample. And if you look at the table of contents in that sample and what it gives you, it would probably be enough to give you a feeling of whether it resonates with you or not. In any case, they want to tell you that if you decide to continue to be a business person making money as a capitalist, they're going to mark you off on the check mark. They have check marks. They've got a huge book of human beings, and they hate to tell you, but they're very judgmental characters. In other words, they want to say this is sacred economics or spiritual economics, and they have a book of who they consider sacred spiritual people and a book of assholes. In general, they figure that they don't want to tell you the percentage because it's pretty much going to be about 90% of humans fall in the asshole category these days. And we discovered the reason why is because of the low calibration of consciousness of humans, which is pretty much, if you look at the scale of human consciousness, You can find that on the internet. Look for the version that David R. Hawkins does. Hawkins, well, when he wrote his book Power versus Force, he said the collective consciousness of humanity is at 207, and that was quite a number of years ago. And that's why the cosmic characters figure humans are assholes. It's simply they don't have enough consciousness to be anything different than what they are. They understand that, but it doesn't make them feel good. So they always encourage me to make videos to help people raise their consciousness, and we usually recommend people look at, out of all the David Hawkins books, Transcending the Levels of Consciousness. If you only want one, that's the one, because if you learn to muscle test to find out where someone's personality is on the scale of human consciousness, then, like for example, if you did a muscle test and you found out that someone was at 207, you could turn in the book, Transcending the Levels of Consciousness, look up the 200 level to learn all about that person, and then there's lots of hints about how to raise your consciousness from there. So they do like that one. What else do they want to talk to you about? They don't want to talk to you about anything other than that. So they're going to keep it short and sweet, and they you can't hear it, but I can hear them. They're in the bus, and they're like looking under seats and things to see if there's anything else that they might want to bring to your attention. They say that the bus has got some rusty spots, and they want to go to Canadian Tire and get some Krylon, which is that anti-rust paint. Further, the original bus was painted in Day-Glo colors, and then when Krylon is mentioned, then they always think of Chiron, who is the channeled entity done by Lee Carroll, who we rarely listen to because he's so long-winded and he plays church music. But they just want to let you know that they love certain YouTube channels, and the favorite channels that we have are Daniel Scranton, who channels the Arcturian Council, their non-physical ninth dimensional group consciousness from Arcturus. And they love Paul Butler, and they're saying not so much. Well, it's just Paul Butler gives a daily report, and we usually listen to it as our news, the news on Earth Ascension, but they're saying it's pretty much too much the same. So sometimes we listen to some other people, and the other thing that they quite often say is too many words. So and like if we're reading an article like this book, Sacred Economics, for us, one day they all went away except for one person at the control center, and I read, I think it was the sample from Amazon, and I used to read like a whole book like this in about 2 days, but I don't read, and they don't like too many words. So we're always trying to do telepathy without words. It's not going so well because, generally speaking, everyone breaks into words, and then we get all tired out and we have to have a nap. That's your update, jEreMY. If you have any questions for the cosmic characters, then please let us know, and we like to do video talks in response to questions. So this was in response to what do you think of me, and we didn't give very much other than they just want to keep reiterating, stop being a capitalist, stop being an entrepreneur, start working with the gift economy. And if you're wondering on how you can possibly survive, I think you're in Vancouver, without making capitalist amounts of money, the answer is I'm almost out of time for 15 minutes, So I'll have to do another video for you. So please subscribe and share. Thanks, Jeremy. Nice to talk with you.